Okay.
Rick, in the back of your book, you mentioned a story about Jeff Beck and one of your Les Paul guitars, and said to ask you if he ever see you.
Well, ask me next time. No, it's. I was in Chicago, and I went to see Jeff Beck. Was with Rod Stewart, Mick Waller, Ronnie Wood was in the band, and at the end of their set, they used to do two sets at Connecticut Playground. It cost $5 to get a great deal, and there was Jeff put his guitar on the back of on top of the amp, and his roadie came over and picked it up by the body and dropped it and broke the neck off. And back then there was like really no backstage, so I just walked backstage and I said, "Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, and I have some guitars for sale." And I gave him my number, and about 2 days later, I got a phone call from Jeff Beck. He said, "Rick, you still have those guitars? I need something." I said, "Sure." And I said, "I'll be right out." I said, "Where are you?" He said, "Philadelphia." I said, "Okay, I'll be there." And I went out, and I saw it was Vanilla Fudge, 10 years after, and Rod Stewart. And Ronnie Wood served me a liquor from a silver tea set that he got that afternoon. And then after that, we went to the Holiday Inn downtown Philadelphia, and I played guitar with Jeff Beck all night. And I sold him the guitar for $350, and he still owes me money. So that's the story. I was lucky enough to play with the guy, play guitar with him.
I have a question for Bunny and one for Rick. Back in 1978, Milwaukee, you guys played at the Grand Slam Jam at the Milwaukee
Art
County
Corner and
Stadium.
Ted Nugent.
Fred Nugent, that's right. And
Journey.
Bunny came out with first the sort of big sticks, and then the really huge sticks, and you smashed that little drum set. And that was the only time I think I've seen you do that. Where did you get those big sticks from? That was hilarious.
We had a pair made that were about 6 feet tall.
Right.
But they made them out of oak, which is real heavy.
Yeah.
So I had to walk into them and hold them about halfway like this, and you could just kind of go like this with them.
But it was like a child's drum set, and you crushed it to pieces.
It just wrecked the drum set. We did that on about 2 or 3 stadium dates that time, and it just kind of like, well, let's see how far we can take this thing. So we took it one step too far. And my ma's got them. They're sitting outside her house.
They were great. Well, that was the first time I saw you guys, and I was a fan for life at that point. So that was a great show.
Should we get the big sticks back? Is that what
you're saying? And Rick, I have a
If
question.
I paid for the drum set, he'd probably, okay, sure.
Rick, tonight you're using those two Fender Twins back there, and you always have those on the side. Do those act as your preamps to the Marshalls, or are they just always your guitar sound? And
it's kind of a testicle question.
Yeah.
Actually, these things were made by a guy's name is Paul Rivera, not from the Raiders. Paul Rivera, and he makes amps. There's Rivera amps, but these were made. They're a little old, I think. I think they're about 15, 20 years old, something like that. But no, these run separate. They're actually my monitor that I use on the side. I use one amp over here, and then I use an amp over here. And there's an amp over on the other side too, because basically we're a 3-piece band with a pretty good singer. So we mix the stuff, and if you have any technical questions, ask Glenn over here. He's over there.
Okay.
Because he likes to talk all night long, and he's no longer. He's gone to Betty Ford Clinic. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So you can get a coherent answer out of him.
Robin.
Him and Betty been going back and forth for years.
Thank you. I know you've been asked this probably a few thousand times, but how was playing Jack Stone in The Watcher? Was it easy, or was it actually playing a role?
Oh, God. Pretty much like central casting, I've been there, done that.
Are we going to hear
It was a lot of fun doing that.
He had more dialogue than any of the real actors had.
Well, I think the fans think it was
Thank
pretty
God
outrageous.
Thank God that's not something I do for a living. I would never want to do that for a living. But
Are we going to hear Born to Raise Hell, or what? That's all.
Not on the list.
Yeah, we asked everybody to send us what they wanted to hear, and that was about number 500. Sorry. Next question.
I just want to say thanks a lot, and
Oh, it's you again, the drunk guy.
yeah,
Sorry,
right.
I can't see it.
Play me "Take Me, I'm Yours." Take me, I'm yours. I'd love to hear that.
Hi guys, I've got two quick questions. The first is,
Where are you from? New
New Zealand.
Further New Zealand. Before you ask that, I know it's none of my damn business, but have you met some new friends here today?
Yeah.
Well, we have too, but I'm just like, it's pretty interesting. New Zealand, then right down the street, and then we have
Japan,
England and
England.
France. So we have South America. We have Japan here, and
Don't forget New Jersey.
yeah, New Jersey, New York, California, Texas, Omaha, Canada. There were some people in Canada. Boston, yeah.
Chicago, of course.
Chicago. Okay, I'm sorry.
And that's cool. I was going to say something like that, but two quick questions. Any plans for a follow-up to the Every Trick in the Book video? And secondly, just for Rick and for Bunny, what was it like working with John Lennon on the Double Fantasy sessions?
No video plan right now because we don't have that many videos to put on a compilation that we haven't used. And we don't have the rights to, like a lot of the videos you saw this afternoon, we don't own those. Those are bootlegs and stuff that I bootleg. But we don't have the rights to those. But, hey, I like the stuff too. John Lennon, we got a call from Jack Douglas in the summer of 1980. There's a couple songs they thought Rick and I could help them out with, and we went in and they couldn't get a feel for I'm Losing You, so me and Rick performed on it, and we did a tune with Yoko the same day, and it was pretty cool. The guy, they're never as tall as you think they are when you see them in person because you're always looking up on a stage or something. So yeah, he was about that tall, and he was like, "Hey, I know you guys. You're the guys from Cheap Trick," he said, "but they wouldn't tell me your names, you know." And I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." And I said, "What speed do you want?" And he goes, "Oh, just go ahead and count it off." And it was like, ooh, that was cool. And it was pretty neat. And we were in the booth hanging out, and Rick was playing guitar, and John thought it was great. He was jumping up and down and said, "Where was this guy? When we were doing Cold Turkey, Eric Clapton was completely out of it and would only play one riff, and we could have used him on that." And it was pretty neat. But anyway.
And where is Clapton today?
Anyway, we did the tracks, and they may be on the Lost Lennon tapes if that thing ever comes out, maybe in a year. And it wouldn't have fit with the rest of the record because it was like real heavy, and the rest of the record was like pop music. So
What was Yoko doing in there?
Yoko was singing, and John had a suggestion for her. He goes, "Mother dear, why don't you do the first verse like Tony, the bass player, likes it, and then do the boys arrangement, me and Rick, for the rest of the song." And she goes, "Fuck you very much, John." And he goes, "Okay, Mother," and he backed off.
John, this is sucking.
All the bad stuff you heard about her doesn't even scratch the surface.
Hey, but guess what?
She must have been a fun in the sack.
Yeah, we did that.
Something, I don't know.
We did that session, and 3 days later, the check came in the mail. I mean, she wasn't all bad. She paid the bills.
One question for Robin here is, what are you using for a studio mic in the studio for a vocal mic? And the second question would be is for Bunny to talk about the overdubs in the Budokan, the latest Budokan thing, Budokan 2.
As far as the first part of the question, I really don't know, and it doesn't really matter. I just sing. It's up to them to record the fucking thing,
You said you were an analog purist, and that the digital stuff just kind of didn't agree with you. I was kind of wondering if you use the old tube technology on your voice as opposed to the the transistorized stuff.
Definitely, as far as the vocal mic's concerned, yes. But as far as everything else is concerned, it's. There's some things good about digital recording that I enjoy, but I think some of the stuff is tough to get. Like a blasting guitar is tough to get digitally, but anything that's clean, like acoustics and stuff, that goes over well digitally.
Thank you. Bunny, can you elaborate on the
In
overdubs,
a
please?
nutshell, for Budokan 2, on the first Budokan, there's 3 bass tracks, and 2 of them were really screwed up. And so Tom, when we went in the studio for the first one, Tom sat down and overdubbed most of his parts right over again because it was just a couple months after we'd done it. And so the new one, we didn't want to sit there and start patching stuff, so we took the one good track and ran it through a bass amp, turned the bass up on it, re-mic'd it, re-recorded it, and that's what's on there, and we're not 100% happy with it, but we're not 100% happy with anything, so there you go. That's basically what happened is it's the same, the bass tracks on the first Budokan are probably about half overdubbed, and the Budokan 2, it's all the original tracks, but we re-mic'd it and tried to redo it. Phil Bonanno did it, and he did a pretty good job.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
All right, we're going to play some more stuff. What are we playing?